Alrighty, so let me start again. Hi, I'm Connie, right? And I'm here giving a class to Optimar. Thank you for having me back. I'm going to go ahead and log into the Miami Gateway. And what I wanted to show you first was the favorites, how you could favorite or unfavorite any item. So it will be on the top for you, easy for you to find. And I didn't want to visit today without talking to you about some things that we have that are new. Anyone a listing agent? Okay. Well, even if you're not, this product works for you. It's called Infinity with a double Y. And you can come in and claim your listings. Uh, Claiming the listing doesn't mean that the buyer agent won't be able to do it. I, of course, am not an agent, so I don't have any listings, but I want you to know that you could come and explore. You can find your listing and you can claim it. And for every one of your listings, you can provide, number one, someone to see it with a 24/7 assistant, right? Which will give a virtual tour that is completely different than seeing a property from the MLS. So if you're a buyer's agent, and many of us are, 80% or more of agents are buyer's agent, you would just click on buyer agent versus the listing agent, right? And you could come and say, and I'm going to say that this is for Optimar. That's my customer, and I'm going to create it. And now I can do with a file up here. So I'm going to put Sunny Isles, right? And I can see the properties that are available here. And of course, here the instructor gets finicky. So we want more than 1 million. And we want 3 bedrooms, because we need space. And, we'll suffer with this one, right? So I'm going to select this one. This is the one I want to send to my customer or share on social media. Or anybody use WhatsApp? I'm talking to her. She doesn't even hear me. Anybody use WhatsApp?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to show you, number one, how you can add this to your Facebook, and then how you could also add this to WhatsApp in the status area. And I know people look because I've taught it for the last 2 months, and every time I do, they no longer ask me if I'm selling, but they'll call my mom. Connie está vendiendo, Connie's selling. It's like, no, she teaches, but people look at it, yes or no? Just to give you some insight, contacts on WhatsApp. Anybody that has WhatsApp that's your contact, if you allow, could see your status, right? And this is a way to remind people that are on your contact list in WhatsApp that you're a realtor. And that's what I'm going to show you, but I want you to pay attention. I'm only going to do it once because that's the class is not this. This is extra. So I selected the property I want to send, and I'm going to click on done. And that creates this for me. So let me minimize here. And what this does is actually create for you a area for you to be able to share. So if it's your listing, you should of course do this. It's okay. All of us have a cell phone. I don't even know if mine is off. Oh yeah, including the instructors. Yeah, I have no money. Here I have a share link that I could put to Facebook to access to LinkedIn, right? And I also could copy it. So I could copy this virtual tour, right? And one of the things that I like to show you is, of course, you could come into Facebook, click in and paste it in. I want you to see how it looks. Don't you like that picture? So the first thing I like is if you were to share from the MLS, even if it was your listing, and use the share link, it doesn't always populate with a picture. Here it populates with a picture. And you could come and say, gorgeous condo on the beach. Isn't it dreamy? Are you looking to move? Contact me. Yes, I just put it in and I'm going to click next and I'm going to post it. But I haven't shown you what this does really. I'm just showing you because I want you guys to see how you could use this. Let me share my whole screen so you guys will see it on the video. Here's my WhatsApp. Don't read my messages. This is my messages. This is for me to make a phone call, and this is my status. So I have it on my computer, and there is a pencil item. So I could add a picture or I could write something in, correct? On WhatsApp. So I could click on this and paste the link and look how it looks. You need to live here. Share. Not only does it look that way, look how my status looks. So it looks small in the actual status when they click, but it's a picture making people want to come here, right? It's updating, it's giving it a second. But look how it looks. So here it is. This is one I was showing yesterday, and you can open the link. This is all FREE. This is all sharing from the IDX, the Internet Data Exchange. So you're not doing anything inappropriate because it also updates according to the status in the MLS because Infinity is directly connected to the listings in the MLS. So this is all okay to advertise. And you don't have to find an okay to advertise property because it's a link. All you're doing is displaying the status that exists for a listing in the MLS. Do you like? I happen to love, right? So it says no views yet. Let me come back so you could see. And I'm going to do it again, but I want you, they would see this and then they would click open and they would see it. So if you guys share listings here, I don't know what the policy is for the office. You could do this for all office listings. If you don't, and you could talk to each other, you can. But the truth is you don't need to communicate with the other because this is a display format, which is correct using IDX rules. Now, look what how nice this is. This is a 24/7. I can come and tour the property and the AI will work for me.
You don't need any permission to advertise.
This is not advertisement.
No.
This is sharing. We're going to give it a second because I want you to hear the AI.
So what's the difference with sharing? Can you explain it?
Avenue 4103 by viewing the following location.
So I want you to know how I tested it. I'm middle-aged. I'm over 50. Right. So my dynamic with artificial intelligence is slightly different from a 20 and a 30-year-old, right? Where they intuitively use these things. So when we first got it, I have two sons. I sent it to one, to both. We were at the table and I go, you guys, I need you to help me look at how you think this is. One of them immediately looked for all the restaurants nearby. That's the skinny one, who's always thinking of what he's going to eat next. And the other one immediately goes, the other one is, as a parent, it's amazing to have two kids come from the same house, be very, very different, right? And the other one is always, I'm going to go burn off steam. I'm going to go walk. So his first thing was, is there a park nearby? And what different, and is there a route for me to do walking and exercise? So he's the chubbier one who works at it, and the other one immediately. But you see how they have a different mentality on how they search? We're used to sending a property, highlighting the property, but we don't always have time, nor do we always do it because maybe we can't talk about what's around it. So what are the schools? What are the parks? Is there a supermarket? And this allows you to have a 24/7 assistant for your listings and be able to say, I'm sending you, I want you to see how I'm promoting your property. But additionally, I have AI working for us. Us because you're working in conjunction with the property owner, correct? Right? And then for the buyer's agent, not only can I show you the property, but here's some info for you to view it the way you would like to. I also sent it to my husband, and my husband immediately said, where's the hardware store? For those of you that weren't close to me, he's worked for the last 8 years building stuff here, so he's in construction. Immediately, where's the hardware store? And one of the things that he laughed at, he goes, honey, I didn't know that we had an Ace Hardware right here. We'll always go to Lowe's or Home Depot. And closer to us is this small Ace Hardware. And he goes, I could probably get half the stuff there and not have to go deal with. I'm like, well, there's AI for you. So everybody uses it the way they want to, and you can ask whatever you want. You can even ask it in Spanish. So if some of you would like that, in any language really, right? Now, I wanted you to see that it does a tour. Okay. And it'll
Perfect outdoor retreat. ideal for morning coffee or evening relaxation, seamlessly
The whole
connecting
purpose of a
indoor
view,
and
right?
outdoor living while providing breathtaking views of the vibrant community.
So let me see. You can ask it what amenities are available, or you can type in and ask a question. So the person that receives this link not only would view the property and all the photos, but would be able to tour.
Avenue number 4103 offers the following amenities.
Where can I go eat dinner? You can ask it about the parks, about the schools, about recreation, whatever. It's AI.
You can visit Azzurro Italian restaurant and bar. It offers a delightful dining experience with authentic Italian cuisine, fresh seafood, and a cozy atmosphere, making it perfect for a romantic evening or
Now, I'm not going to take your time. You guys can play if you want to, but I want to remind you where it is. When you log in, it's right here, Infinity, with two Y's. And then when you come in, I wanted you to see that you could explore. You could explore and claim your listings, right? And of course, you can do it as a buyer's agent. And I'll show you again. I'm going to put here. Right. This is my customer. I create. I can select or use the zip code to search, right? And then I can choose, like I told you, 1 million or more. And I want 4 bedrooms this time. And this lovely property, I'm going to select it, right? And click done. And now I'm ready to engage. So I can also embed this if I have a website, right? There's an iframe, if any of you know about that, right? And then I can also share it. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the tour and show you again. I showed you Facebook, and then I'm going to come back into WhatsApp. So here's my messages, me to make a phone call, right? And my status. And I implore you to use this. We have 60,000 members at Miami, or close to, and less than 10K, 15K will come to a class, and only 3 to 5% of who attends a class uses anything that they're shown. So when they ask you, is this different or can I make a difference or everybody is seeing this? Yeah, but not that many people are using it. And I know because there's all of those unclaimed listings that the listing agents should have immediately gone in, claimed, and start to tell, right, their customer, listen, I'm not only putting this in the MLS, I'm also having a 24/7 assistant. And you can use this link as the listing agent to put it in a virtual public open house. So that same link, you could go back into the MLS. And how many of you have condos that don't allow open houses? So I can copy that link and do a virtual open house from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and have myself another way to showcase and share the property. Because the association provides you as well. If you put a public open house, whether it's virtual or public in person, there's a website that's consumer facing called southfloridaopenhousesearch.com. So by putting it in the MLS and adding this, you're putting it in that consumer facing site and you're also giving it additional exposure. So, and for the buyer's agent, if I don't have listings, what a great way to feature a pretty property in my farm area and say, hey, don't forget, I can help you buy, sell, and invest in South Florida, right? Little reminder, I'm here. So again, you would come into the status, you would click on the pencil, and you would paste this in. Okay, of course, it says your customer's name. I wanted you to see that. So I would be mindful to pay your future home, que linda tu casita. You got to put something that's going to entice a person, right? And then you would put here. Is it the American Riviera? Is that where we live here? It's something like that.
It was Thornbury,
Huh?
the previous one.
There you go. I said the wrong thing. Somebody can correct me later. Right? And then what I wanted you to see is that they see the image. Okay? And I don't sell, but these are views from what I showed yesterday. I already have someone that viewed the one earlier. What a great way to get some additional exposure, whether you're a buyer or a listing agent.
If they wanna communicate, so they just.
Well, one of the cool things about communicating, and I don't know if it'll show you here, is that if they click here and open, they can come and call you. I'm here.
Can you repeat one more?
They
thing
can call
about
you.
Open house again, when did you say called Infinity Connect, but open house for listing agent?
If you, this is your listing, right? You would come into the MLS. Anybody have listings? I want you to see this because listings are lasting longer and people are taking a little slower to buy. And everyone has that expectation that interest rates are going to go down and the dollar has gone up. So all of the potentials for attracting are in a slowdown, correct? So one of the things that I like to say is that to the customer, they're going to ask you, what are you doing that's different for my listing? And I understand that as a customer, but I also as an agent is like, what else could I possibly do? So an idea here is to come into Matrix, and you see, I'm sorry, I'm taking over the class for something else, is to come into Matrix, and if you have a listing, right? You would come to your active listings, select it, right? Click edit, and you have the right to have open houses here. So if this was my property, I would come and do virtual public. I would put the date, the 6th, right? The start time, end time, and that link would come here. But in the description, I would say, open houses are not permitted here yet. Look at this wonderful virtual tour with an AI. If you're interested, contact me. You know how normally you would put beverages or can't wait to see you or whatever? I would explain. Here is a link for you to be able to take a tour with an AI assisting you in answering all your questions on the property, right? And you would enter it. Now, where does this go? Well, your picture needs to be in Matrix in certain place, but it goes onto this website. South Florida openhousesearch.com, right? I didn't enter it because remember that's not a real listing, but let's look to see if there's anything here. Sunny Isle, search. Nothing. Oh, we'll do Aventura. Something will come up. No. Here's Aventura, right? So these are open houses that are coming up, correct? It would automatically come into here 48 hours after you enter it. It will have a property description. This is shareable as well. Okay. It will have your info, I mean the office info, your info here, location detail, right? They can request a showing, do a tour, get photos. So it goes automatically here. You just have to put the open house in Matrix, public or public virtual. And my option with Infinity was, if you can't show the property or you're not going to do it, you could have a virtual one and use the link from Infinity to be able to provide it for the virtual tour. So it's an added benefit and it would get you not only exposure to your listing for Infinity, but you would also be telling the customer, hey, we may not be able to have open houses in the location, but I did them for you virtually using AI. So you're giving an additional extra item to your customer. Yes or no? It just puts you at a different level.
So you put it on the description.
No, the live stream recorded,
Oh, that's it.
this is here.
Yeah, because it's still clicking down like.
There. No, the description, because there I would explain.
No problem.
Alrighty? Okay, now, I didn't come for this. This was just
Extra information.
extra. Okay, there are a whole bunch of virtual staging items, so if I come back another day, I can show those to you. Let's go ahead and go into Form Simplicity. Most of you enter Form Simplicity through here. A direct connect, Form Simplicity, correct? Right, and you'll get info here, and notice that it's even telling you that there's more now available in Sable Sign. All right, Sable Sign. Sable Sign is now the new way going forward that you would do electronic signature in Form Simplicity. Okay, if you have eSign, You're going to have e-sign until your contract for the e-sign expires. And then when you renew, there will no longer be e-sign. You will have the Sable sign option. Most of us come into here and we want to start. On this first page, you see all of your recents, right? I'm going to come into transaction and show you that you would see your transactions. You can search them by date, name. You can filter by status, property type, or listing type. All of those things have been around. And if you don't like to view them like this, you can view them in a line item. Most of us are visual and like this. One of the biggest concerns lately is, honey, I come in and I see everything I've ever done. You need to remember that you can archive. So what that means is I don't want to come in and see 37 things when I'm only working on 3. So when I finish or I'm done with a file or it's closed or it's rented, whatever it is, I need to remember that I can click into here, right? And I can archive. And all that it is virtually, since this is a virtual component, it's like if you took the file, opened the filing cabinet and put it inside the filing cabinet and closed. It's over there, not on my virtual desk. Because that's one of the complaints we've had lately. So you archive it here. Yes, it's archived. Now it's under the archive transactions. It's not gone. I can always come to the archive transaction and see it, but it's no longer under my transactions cluttering what I'm doing. So once you finish, you can put it into there. The next thing I want to talk to you is about blank forms. There are a whole segue of Miami forms available to you. And there is a whole series of Florida forms available to you. But something I found about a week ago, I came into the notifications because I always look, and they created this Florida Realtors form descriptions. Had you ever seen that? Neither had I. So you're the first class I teach in person this. I'm going to copy that and come into blank forms. And I want to show you this because I thought that we should be telling the whole planet. Because sometimes you fill out these forms and you don't even know what they are. You do it mechanically. It's like the timetables. 2 times 5, right? 2 times 6, 2 times 7. A lot of us had that ingrained and we probably have that little callus still from writing them. No, you guys are younger than I am. You never wrote those in school, right? So, a lot of the times we fill these forms and number one, I want to tell you something I found out last summer. We take for granted that we have these Florida forms because we are in Florida. Other states, when all the changes and adjustments came last year over compensation, which I will not discuss, they had to go back and say, we're going to have to revisit with attorneys to build these forms. And I would hear it like from conversations. I'm like, you have to do what? We click and it's there. Because we're in Florida. Other places have to write up. Can you imagine the other level of work that would be? Nothing against attorneys, especially if there's one in a room. Right. But we have them here. Okay. Now, I like this because now you can search for Florida Realtors form description. And what's nice is I'm recording the screen, so you're going to get this later. So you don't have to like listen to everything I say. You see here, Florida Realtors, I could click. And I really like that because it has commercial contracts and it explains them. Escrow forms. And maybe sometimes you'll have that one customer that asked a lot of questions and you're like, I don't know. I'm required to fill this. Well, now you have the I don't know section answered for you. You can print this, you can save it. And some of you like to know everything. So if for the know-it-alls, here it is. Okay. Now, contacts. You do not have to put all your contacts in the system. You do not. Because at transaction, you could put the contact or just the email. But I do want to talk about templates. Maybe you guys have broker-wide templates. I don't know. So you can stop me. You can come and create task templates for the office and they can do them individually. So mostly when you have a transaction, you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but you have the offer, And maybe you'll have inspection. And maybe you'll have what else? Funding? What else? Huh? Okay, but there are certain things that happen. Huh?
No.
Loans? So every time you do a transaction, there are certain things, tasks that you must do. You can now come and create a task template, name it, and have it condo purchase so that you have your condo right or not. And a list already ready so that you could just add it. Okay? They could do it at broker level, so be nice to the ladies, or you could do it yourselves. You also have email templates. I'm a firm believer that if you invest a little time and create email templates now, you'll save some time later. Why? So I'm working with you and you're my customer, and I want to thank you for being a first-time home buyer with me. I can have, the whole process for you and say, listen, thank you for endeavoring or working with me. I'm looking forward to being able to offer you this home or investment. These are the steps that are to come. I can't wait to continue here. Make sure you sign this. But you explain to them and you have the email already done. You just adjust for who you're working with, correct? So I, of course, welcome to your home purchase. Welcome and congratulations on taking this exciting first step towards purchasing a home. I'm truly honored to be a part of the milestone. And then you could tell them, here are some things that you should know. So you could come in and create templates. This didn't exist before. This is probably a very good idea. Now, I know it requires time and effort, but that would mean that you would save time every time you would do a transaction because the email templates would be here. Okay. The next thing I like to remind you guys of, let me look here. Under blank forms, the clauses. Does your office have fees? What are the fees? Where do they go? Are they a part of the forms? And have you ever forgotten to add a fee? Because if you forget to add the fee, look at her. I don't want to even look at her. If you forget to add the fee, who pays? From your what? Compensation.
They know.
I know that. That's why I'm like, do this, do it, do it. So do they provide you a blurb of some verbiage for you to put into the forms for the fees?
It's there.
Okay, please use it. Alrighty. Do you have form packages for them?
We started them, then.
Okay, so what do you require? Do you eat shrimp? Do you want champagne? They're here.
And it's going to be there.
No. But what I want you is you provide them a list.
Oh, they have a list. They have a
Okay, so now you're in trouble because you don't need her to do it.
check.
You can come into here in the form packages and create a package. Some of you, anybody here who's anal retentive, like everything OCD, everything has to be perfect. There's none of you in the room, right? If you're like that and the ladies have provided you a list, you could come and create your own form package. What is that? You ever gone to the doctor? Can you imagine when you arrive at the doctor that that's the moment they decide to print the paperwork that you need to fill out? When you come in, oh, you're here. I'm so happy you're here. Let me print the 37 pages. Hold on. No, they already have the package and they tend to tell you license, insurance, here, right? Some places have it electronically and they tell you to fill it out before going, correct? Yeah. That's a package. You could have a package here. All right. And you put what you need inside it. And then you can use it every time you transact. Okay. Now I'm going to come back to home and I'm going to start a transaction. Do most of you start here or do you go to the MLS?
MLS.
You could do a combination. I'm going to show you every listing in the MLS. We're going to come and search. Is there a property you guys want me to show? I know you had one because I think one of the ones I picked was Optimar.
Really?
It was funny. I didn't do it on purpose. If I had done it on purpose, it wouldn't have come out. Oh, by the way, stop. Do you guys see these little check boxes here? Do you see them? These The little check boxes? Have you ever used them? Okay. So my customer says, I want to live in Sunny Isle and Aventura. I try to type Aventura, I click it, and then I click Sunny Isle and erases Aventura. You've never had that happen? Well, you're perfect. I'm not. So you click here. Okay, but you don't need to do that. You could come into here and click Aventura. Add it.
That's new.
Yes, that's why I'm showing you. I'm going to remove Ave Maria because I don't want to live there. And then it's very pretty, but I don't want to go.
By the way, the checklist is there, but I will update it. Okay. Yeah.
So, but you guys remember, you see how everything is a moving part? This is something that's, she said it, she goes, Connie, I can just press command or whatever. Yeah, but any of you ever tried to do that and it doesn't work out? I'm clumsy. So you could open that and come in here and add, right? And now I put okay. And now they're both selected. So it's this little box here. It's relatively new. I'm not going to say from when, but it's from this year. But wherever you see it, you can do that. Okay. Now, I want something that's 1.5 million to 2 million. You guys are probably saying, no, Connie, I want 10, but we'll leave it here. Right. And I wanted to have 3+ bedrooms. And I come to my results. Right. And I sent to my customer, and here I want to show you something. You all know that you can select here 3 and you can send a link, correct? The back of the room, you could say, no, I'm not going to be upset. You can select the properties and click. No. You click here, share link. It generates a link for you and you copy it and you could send it to them. There you go. Look how appreciative the phone is. All righty. I wanted you to see that. Now, by the way, that share link is not as interactive, right? So look, just to go back to what we were doing before, if I put that link here, it doesn't show the property. It says one home. Did you see why the other one was prettier? MLS Touch is the way to go if you want to share directly from the MLS. Okay, and do this. So it's an interact. Now, if you're sending it to your customer, it doesn't matter. Let me discard and move on. All righty. So let's say my customer wants to purchase this one, the $2 million one. I can come into the MLS, make double sure that it's active, and this is form simplicity. This is form simplicity. Now mine doesn't work because I click here and it doesn't take me to it because I work at the association. So I'm not linking as a member. Yours does. It will take you directly to form simplicity to start a transaction. Okay. Now what I can do is copy the MLS number. I hope I'm not boring you guys. Copy the MLS number and then I can come into form simplicity and I can do it from here too. So I can start my transaction, right? And let's say that the office or you guys did your package. So I'm going to select my package, right? I'm going to say it's a residential, right? It's for a purchase. And since I don't have the address, I'm just going to use the MLS number. Okay. Now I do create and it creates the transaction, correct? So here I could import the data. If you have a listing, you would probably do this. You would click to import and you could do the tax search and bring tax detail and property owner detail into your transaction. But you can also do this with the MLS number. Okay. And here you just select it. Huh? You don't like it?
Well,
Okay, well, I accept it.
no.
I accept.
No, he needs a lot of stuff and many steps.
And it's all recorded.
Okay.
We're going to record it. And then on Friday, I'll send it to the ladies.
Okay.
Hey, I'm not that mean. And if you notice, my mouse is huge. Have you seen the size of it? I taught the other day to people that don't come to Miami Realtors. I was teaching something in Spanish to another group. And they're like, Connie, that mouse pointer is huge. And I go, I've been working at this 10 years. If it could be bigger, I would make it bigger. And it's fuchsia. so you can see it. Alrighty, I import it here and I'm gonna select, okay? And I'm bringing the legal description, right? And the owner name and my brokerage agent, I'm gonna save and save. Now, I wanna talk to you guys about something else, and I should have shown you here. When I'm here, do you see this symbol in front of the square footage of the legal and of the folio? That means that that data came directly from the tax service. Okay, it is a currency symbol, it's not an asterisk. And it is a reminder that the person that entered the listing brought the data from the tax service, and it is as updated as the tax service was. So you know that legal description is correct, the square footage is the folio. Okay, if that helps. But you must see this. If you don't see it, they did something to adjust. Okay? Now I'm here. I have my forms, right? And I want to use the Sable sign. I select my forms, right? And I click Sable sign. It's the same as e-sign.
Gives you the option. That is.
Yes, it does, until e-sign goes away for everybody. Now, the next thing I want to remind you guys is there's a copy to a transaction here. So if you have that customer and they're looking to invest and they make an offer, it's not accepted, and they're going to make another offer, right? You do not have to recreate the wheel. You could select the documents and copy to a transaction. And all it does is you change the address and you update the dates on the forms. But if the forms were going to be the same ones, you could copy the transaction that's existing. Okay? I like to show that because some people don't know. The merge, you would select the documents and merge. Now, form simplicity is to simulate. I was almost going to take your folder. Let's say I came in the morning and I started this folder and I put it over here. And then in the afternoon, I fill out this form and I'm like, oh, let me put it in this other folder. Physically with paper, if it was the same transaction, I would just have to do this, put it together and move on, right? But if I did that in form simplicity, it would be two transactions. This is the button to merge. So if by mistake, any of you, I'm over 50, I've done this. You start something here and then you do something over here and you create two folders, the way to merge it is this button. You would click merge, identify, and put the file name. Okay. Faxing. I don't laugh at that because if the customer tells you to fax, you can fax within the United States, recipient's name, fax number, and message, and send it in the US. Okay. Now I'm going to select. For free, you can fax, you can email, and you can print.
You would fax even if your phone doesn't have a fax?
No, the form simplicity acts like the fax. Okay, and then they get it wherever they're at. Okay. So yes, it works as an e-fax. Okay. And the only reason I tell you that is because we had somebody call in the other day and ask, can you fax us the membership application? And everybody at the office went like, first, a couple of people said, what is that? And then I'm like, okay, breathe, you're old. And then number two, I said, oh, we can do it. Right? Because the membership application is inside of here and we fax. By the way, that breathing part was probably a minute. Like, you don't know what that is. That's like showing someone a cassette who's 10 years old. A CD for that matter. What is that? It's a glowy thing, right? It sparkles. So you select here and you can do the Sable sign. I want to show you, you click. Of course, I'm not going to invite all these parties. This is fake, right? And you create the Sable sign. Here's your e-sign and there is a DocuSign. Remember that you had asked? So I'm going to click on Sable sign. I thought she was telling me something like behave, right? And it'll click here to open. And if it doesn't, you click and it'll do it. And this is what it looks like. You can name your session. Okay. The session is like the name to the transaction. I always tell you guys to help yourself and identify what it is that you're doing. Who is this for? You. So when you get the email, you see the reference line, you know who it's for. When I teach matrix, I love to emphasize that when you go to send, you should put maybe the location, 3-bed, 2-bath, 4, and whoever it is on the reference line. So when you get copied on it, you know who it's for. Because if you imagine you would always send it and put new home, new home, new home, you don't know who the email is for. And that way you know what is being sent to the customer. Now you have a message here, and I want to come up top. Let me see if this is the right, yeah, this is the right email. I have a signing session here from last time. Maybe I don't.
You can put address.
Yes, you can. I suggest it. I put Sunny out because I'm messing with it. A new signing session. I wanted you to see this. So before we would tell you to put review and sign. So that would tell them directly what to do. Now it's open documents to sign. So when you're writing to them, you tell them click where it says open documents to sign. Okay, because that's what it says. So I'm going to come back in here, right here, and put it. Hi, Optimar. Now I forgot what it said.
Please open documents to sign.
Open documents to sign. I'm so glad you're here. Please open documents. Please click on. Why did I show you guys that? You need them, right? To see it, and you want to tell them exactly what to do. Then you scroll down and you have the documents, okay? You can remove or you can upload additionals if you forgot. You can include yourself if you need to sign something in the documents. You can set recipient order if you wanted to. You click to add your recipient and you put their first name and their email. It remembers those have already done it and you save it. You can add additional people and you can put the options: email, recipient setting, remove from session. You can also edit, right? If you need to. You can add another recipient and then you have to assign the roles. So what are they? The buyer, the seller, whatever. And you can select from your recipients. And it explains it's okay if they're not doing everything. You can set auto reminders for the signing. You can expire the session, right? And you can include final docs as attachments. You click on next over here, right? And you can then review. Here's the contract. Here's the info. Maybe you want to highlight something. You can click to highlight. Okay. You can strike out. So maybe when you guys have to do counter offers, you need to do that. Not sure how you guys do it, but you can. You can underline, you can add text, you can add a check. So let's say you forgot to put the check here. You can put it in.
Do you need to highlight manually or it's automatically like DocuSign?
Highlights manually. Because you don't have to highlight on the document. That you don't have
So they
to.
can see.
Yes, but you can't, if you want to, you have to do it manually. You can add like the signature. You okay?
Don't scare me.
No, es que yo me caigo y es como un espectáculo porque quien me para porque me da risa. So the first thing I can think of at first, and then everything will hurt for a week. Right? The false alarm, thank heaven, or whatever we believe in. Right? So here I can select a person and I wanted you to see that you can add a signature. So select the person, add a signature if you need to, right? Add a date, initial, a text box, everything that was there before. It's all there. All right. So you have annotation tools, etc. And you would just come, I'm ready to go. Just like before, since it's a Florida form, it already comes indicated to what they need to do, sign or whatever. and you click to send. You be patient with the send button. Yes, sir.
Can you send this? Do they have the ability to change things?
You allow that or not allow it in the session. Normally we don't. But yes, unless you needed them to put a text in, maybe it's the condo application and you put where they need to write in their info, there they could, but you don't allow them to adjust the other parts. It does it, you select that.
So you can manually allow them.
How do they make a counter offer?
Well,
If it's,
you could put it in and strike it through and put in the amount. You could do that the same way you did before. You just add a text field.
I didn't have, it before. I just started.
Oh, I have a great video out there already, and you're gonna get this one. Okay, so you could come, like I could edit the session. Okay, and scroll down. And let's do next. And let's say I want to do a counter offer. I don't have a price in here, right? So I could strike through, let's say the price that was there, right? And then I could add a text line here. And they could then put in the counter offer in here. And it is the signature and initial or whatever you guys require. Okay.
Button to allow them.
Huh? Here, no, here you're telling them that they need to add the text. So when they get it, they would do it. And then you would do send. You've never used it before? That's nice. By the way, I didn't tell you. While that's sending, Inform Simplicity, you do have a help. Okay, so you have a help on the top. I just thought most of you knew that. So, but I do want to remind you, you have a help area and you have a tech helpline. Okay, so just click on help, click contact us, and you can either call, chat, or open a case Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 9 a.m. to 5. It's 407-587-1450, and they speak English and Spanish, nothing else. That's what they told me. And I go, you don't speak Spanglish? Oh. Of course, I had to ask something difficult. Phone support. Now, the reason that we have videos is because statistics show that realtors do everything they need to during the day, and they will sit at night and do this stuff, this portion, the administrative stuff. And I always encourage you, it like at 8 o'clock, how many of you, that's when you sit to do? So the videos that we've created on the YouTube channel are there because we know that at 8:05 you can't call anymore. So at least you could play a video, forward it, rewind, whatever, right? And if you have it, of course, I'm going to send this video to the ladies, but we have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/miamitrainers. And that's where I was sending her for the okay to advertise. We have videos here for whatever you need. Do you know that you can create a YouTube channel for you and put the videos you like on your channel from here? Yes. So if you have a YouTube channel, let me switch so I can show you what I mean. Do you want to see that?
You mean as a broker or as an agent? Or
Well, I don't know as an agent that you would want to use our videos to teach someone to do something. But if you didn't, I'll
Let me
talk
bring
Valentina.
Valentina.
Well, no, we can do it later
Yeah,
with
we can do
Vale.
it later.
We can do, but anything that we have, you can use because you belong to the association. I don't want you to, and maybe there's one that you really like or somebody tells you about, you could do it there. And what we are doing is that if we archive videos, I'll put, it's my channel. So I'll put yeah, because the other day somebody asked me, whose is it? And it's like, well, it's youtube.com/Miami trainers.
Look, Miami trainers, they're all there.
And if you subscribe, you would really help us. The subscription is free, but that's a way for us to tell the association, look, they look at our video. And allows us to continue to generate them. So this channel is here. It's for you. Okay, so please. And if you need something, you should ask. Now, what I do is if the video is old, and we're gonna start doing that, if there are more than 2, I put a cover on top that says archive video. Please search. So because we don't want to lose our videos because then we lose the views, but we also want you to know what's newer. We also have changed. If you see a video with this type of cover, this is the old cover. These are the new covers. It's intentional.
Freezing.
All the free stuff, yeah, and the backdrop. You can tell. These are the older videos. Okay. YouTube is a learning thing. We are also learning. Don't you dare think that we're expert at nothing. We learn too. Okay. So coming back into here into the Sable sign, I showed you guys that we could do that. So what does the customer get? I like to show you the customer portion because if you know what they get, then you can talk to them about it. Right? So that's why I told you to do it a certain way, say a certain thing. So here's the one, right? And remember what I wrote. Please click open documents to sign. They click to open the documents. Oh, Connie may have sent a more recent invitation. Let me see if I have a more recent one. Oh, it's right here. Remember, I adjusted it to show him. Open documents to sign. Welcome, you have been invited. You can contact Connie here. So it gives your contact details, right? They can write to you if they have questions. When it comes down to receiving, you have to agree. This is the electronic agreement that they want to sign electronically. They click to get started. Oh, agree. Thank you, honey. Click to get started. I thought I had clicked on. And then they have to start. Sign here.
To guide them about start.
Okay, so when they click start, it's going to ask them to create their signature. They can upload a signature because some people have electronic signatures. They can type it. So they can select from all of these options here, or they can draw it. They have a stylus, they're doing it on their phone. You don't care, right? I, of course, am not going to do that, but I wanted you to see. And they have to approve the signature. This is legal in the state of Florida. They can come and type their text here, click on next, right? And I show the whole thing. I want you to see what it does so that I can show you at the end the transaction with a signature. Yes, ma'am.
Even if you put text, they can put the numbers there,
Mhm.
but you have to.
Text is a number. It's
you have
anything
to
on
give
the.
them so that they
You
put the
can. You have to give them the box.
Same as a signature.
And I know I'm boring you doing this, but I wanted you to see the process. Initials are required here, and I couldn't put them. 15 of 16 are completed. It doesn't let them finish until they do all of them. Initialed. Let's see. Which one did it skip? And it's not letting me put it in. Is it at the bottom? No. It didn't let me. Oh, I'm gonna click finish. Nope.
No, that's you.
No.
That's you do it on.
It's funny though, because it didn't let me put it there. I'm gonna have to complain about that form. It's the addendum to contract. Because I see it, but it doesn't let me click. So we'll highlight this and I'll show you from somewhere else. Okay. I'll leave that there. I'm not gonna stop teaching you guys. So what do you got? The customer automatically when signing. Geez, they write to me. I'm sure you guys feel the same way. Signing ceremony completed. They automatically get an email that it's been completed and they can view the final session. Same as before. The minute they complete it, they get notified before you do. It worked that way before too. Now, of course, I'm not going to be able to show you in this one. So I'm going to come to a transaction that I had here. Let me see if this one had e-sign. And this is what the document looks like. It's the same. You get the documents all signed and you get the certificate of authenticity. So what you would do is you would receive this, select, and send it to the other agent if you needed to from here. Okay?
Requesting the certificate of the authenticity from the other party always.
I always teach that just send it because they love to question. But
Them, the others.
I know. But from our end, we always teach, you have it, you send it so that they should be sending to you. It's there. What's this important for? So that you know, I'm opening it. It tells you when the session was started. It talks about how many signature fields. It talks about the IP address used, right? And it said that it's the paper that says where they agreed that this represented their signature. So there's no reason not to send it.
So if they add something besides what your client signed after the matter, you'll know. Because you know what they signed and if something else was added later.
It tells you everything. If it was filled out, required, ordered, everything.
Do you print?
You don't have to. You can just send it, but she's telling you that you need to require it from the other party. So not you sending it. No, that doesn't seem to be the problem. The problem is that you want to receive it from the other person doing the signature. Uh-huh.
Question about the IP address. I have a client who, owns property, but she's very elderly, and so she had her daughter handling this, reviewing before she signed. So I would be sending it to the daughter at a different IP address than the one.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, that's my question.
But it's going to capture that it was somewhere else. That doesn't matter. And I would ask you to talk offline a little because you could add the daughter as a reviewer and then her. But you guys need to decide how you want to handle that. So there's a possibility to do it because you could copy her. She could be copied on the session so that she could see the doc, right? And view it. And then that wouldn't necessarily impede the e-sign process. So you guys have to decide how you want to do that.
Question I have, it doesn't matter which address, email you send.
The IP address is associated, and a lot of people now will tell you, okay, send it to me. And they'll grab your computer, which is your IP address, and they'll sign it here. And they're sitting right next to you. They don't want to do it from the phone, right? They don't want to do it here. There's a convenience. Why haven't these things gone away for the cell phone?
Why do they need?
The size. There's something about doing, how many of you open Matrix and love it here? And then if you have to, you open the other thing. It has to do with the size. There's a convenience in seeing. Yeah. Okay.
It protects me.
So in that case, I mentioned I can send it to the document to both parties, right? It's just an email like this.
Look, I'm gonna come into here and we'll see. Home. We'll select the transaction. And I say I had to re-sign. I'm gonna select to disable sign. Create a new session. Click on it. By the way, how many of you remember this all being manual and on paper and you having them sign everything and they would miss one page and you would have to go, do you remember those little post-its that said sign here? Yeah, so whenever you get frustrated, because sometimes these things take a little bit of time, just remember how frustrating the other process could be and just wait. It's just like, does anybody remember dial-up internet? And that someone would pick up the phone and you had no internet? So whenever things like that, like don't work, just go, remember how far we've come in such a short span. Don't get upset. Because, okay, so here you would name the session, you would do everything else, right? You would have it, and then you would add the recipient, right? Add the recipient. And when you go to email, let me see here. I don't see how I can add someone to view it. I'm going to ask, and then I'll let you guys know. Because I don't see the roles are just for people that are purchasing.
Oh, I've seen it. You can put someone as a
Yeah.
viewer. Yeah.
Let me just put
You
here.
can- Recipients also.
You should be able to. There's no reason for it not to. Okay, save it. And then my options, email recipient settings. Allow ceremony delegation, password authentication. Yeah, it doesn't say there.
Type of sign. See, no, your type.
Here. There you go. CC.
That.
There you go. You could just add her daughter as a CC. So she would see everything. And then you would add your customer. I knew I had seen it, I just didn't know where. Right? Save it. And they're the signer. So you have, do you even have a reviewer? You can choose her as a reviewer. And that happens a lot. They just want someone to see it. Or you have an attorney involved and you CC the attorney. You're not allowing them to edit anything. They're just reviewing or getting a copy of the session.
If they sign, if the reviewer does the.
No, they can't.
They can't, it has to go to the email.
They'll get their own email and then the person that's doing the signing, right, would open and decide to sign. Now, this works like it's a understanding that we're all going to do good. You don't get involved in that portion. You just send it to them so that they could see it. All right. Because 9 out of 10 times, if my mom needs to do something and I'm next to her, she'll go, how do I do this? And I'll go click, click, and she'll show me. So I'll show her, right? But that doesn't mean I signed. I'm just telling her, Mom, it says to click here.
Yes, but
Yeah, she would sign. She would have to sign in to the one you sent directly to her email. It's all good questions, right? And the other one would just see it as a reviewer. Okay. You're not doing anything wrong. You're actually doing things right.
so the reviewer would just tell her, Mom, you go sign it, it's okay.
Yeah. And she would be able to see it, the process. Nice. Well, I showed you a little bit of AI. I showed you the Sable sign that was so neat. Do you want to see one more thing? I could just not do anything and just go. Right. How many of you know that virtual staging sometimes is necessary? And how many of you have ever staged a property and it was expensive? Like actually had the furniture come in, right? And how many of you know statistically that if people come into a room, they don't necessarily know how to put desks or something? I would have come into this office area and I would have looked at it and I would have never imagined a table here because I don't have that visual. How many of you have ever done a renovation? And then you think you could do something, and then when you got there, it didn't fit. I'll tell you a story about one of our friends who purchased a home, and the wife, before closing, did everything that we tell the customers not to do. She went and she bought all furniture. And she didn't know the dimensions. And she had to return it all. All. Right? Because she bought a bed that was too big. The sofa sectional was huge. The whatever. So the issue with dimension and views is not something everybody sees. So we have two AIs. We have one that's least expensive that will help you with decluttering. It costs, I think, 6 pictures for $16, right? That you can use here. And I'll click it. It's called Virtual Staging AI, right? And here's the bedroom. Okay. You can upload your photo for free. It is legal to put these images into the MLS. You do have to pay for them. And in the description of the photo, you must say AI, virtual AI used. And I would go as far as to put in the remarks. Photos 1 to 6 are virtually staged, right? So that no one can come back and say that you weren't upfront with the info.
That the apartment doesn't come with those things.
Okay, and I'm gonna go a step further. Have any of you gone to a new construction? And you've gone into the development home? The pilot, the one that they have there, right? Yeah, the model homes, have you gone in? Model homes have now gone to the point of that they'll sell you the air freshener for the system, right? And they will now tell you in some locations, do you like how this looks? Here, use this QR code and you can have the same furniture that is here or something similar to it. Because not only are they making money from selling the home, you don't have to visually even consider what to do. And a lot of us do not have time, so convenience is of essence. Okay, you take a picture, you upload, you click to upload, you upload it here. And let's say it was like this and it had something that you needed to remove. So this is what I want to remove, right? I come in, it's analyzing, I process the photo, I give it a second, and it will declutter for you, and then it will stage. So it's processing it. I'm going to go ahead and do it. You see, $16 for 6 photos. Now, I'm going to tell you a scenario that I went to in the last 2 months. I've had 3 people. $16. No 60, 16. 16. Okay. This is how it looks without it. And here is some staging possibility. Yeah. So I'm going to tell you another level of this. I put this in the MLS, the person comes. I'm going to do an open house. It has that other bed in it. I had someone call me one day on a Saturday. It was 8 o'clock at night. I answer my phone. No. Text me. My phone number, if you want it, 305 898 I'm just kidding. Yeah, you're all too serious. I can't do that. 305 898 8918. Text me. I teach. I will. 305 898 8918. 305 898 8918. Text me. Do not call. And if you need assistant, be nice to the teacher. I'm also old. Nothing that you're old. I'm old. And I don't remember every button in the system. So if you're doing something, just send me a picture of the screen, the entire screen, not a quarter of it. I don't care if you're shopping. I just send it to me so I can tell you, click there. I'll do it. So this person calls me at 8 o'clock and they were having a heart attack. And I answered, Connie, was my name? One of you don't like me, my name is Christy. She's my colleague. She's my colleague. Oh, and if you like me, my name is Connie. I'm just kidding. And I answered because I remember I was outside a restaurant and I just answered. And they're like, Connie, I'm so sorry. Please, can you help me? And I go, I'm going into dinner. You have the 10 minutes until they call me to the table. Not a minute more. Because if I do that at the table, I break my own rule of being on the phone. I go, I'm going to hear it. No. Hurry up. And they're like, I have a property. I did an open house. It's cluttered. Like, I don't know what to do. And I go, have you virtually staged it? Yes, I did the virtual AI. And I go, print the pictures that you virtually staged and put it outside or at the entrance of every room you're showcasing so that they see what's there and they see what it could look like. Because a lot of the times it's just remove and paint, not necessarily redo. He sold the house in a week. Not that I was any kind of genius. I just told him and I go, you virtually staged it. He did it correctly. He put the info in and I go, take a picture and show it in an acrylic stand. You guys have them out there, I saw. In an acrylic stand, what it could look like, right? And then maybe that'll help. Okay? Because people do not have the power of envisioning. All they see is what's there. Okay? So think about it. What a great 6 acrylic stands cost you less than $20 on Amazon, and you can use them forever on every open house because you should have a flyer, right, that they could get and everything else. And then you could do that for every room that you did the AI and just show them what it could look like. So think about that because that could enhance the experience for you. This isn't expensive. This is one level, okay? And the pricing is here. We have another one that's called AI home design, right? I'm not gonna start here, but look what they can do. Enhance, virtually stage, date to dusk, remove items, okay? I wanted to show you here the renovation ones. So here you have some interior design, before, after. A contemporary look. And a Scandinavian look. Okay. Original, after. And these also help with renovations that aren't done. Okay. So home renovations, I like to show you. So a wall change. Can you believe it? We've all made our homes white and gray, and now they're telling us that we need color. Right? Original. Look at the floor. Can you imagine taking a picture and looking what the floor would look like before buying? I did it the other day. I just put new floor in my house. And I didn't know what color to paint the wall. It looked like an ice cream. Have you ever bought a container of ice cream with 3 colors? That's how my wall looked to me, trying to figure out. And I go, this is it. AI. They suggested another 3 colors. I put the floorboard and I go, oh, this is the one. Yes. I had already bought 3 things and I went to buy another 3 and I picked an antique white. And I can't, yeah, but I couldn't envision it. I wanted a little more gray, beige. I didn't know. So you could do that with AI. Okay. So this is all available to you. This price here, it could be as little as the pricing here is for a month. You have a discount for being a member. And these are all the solutions: floor change, furniture change, wall change, right? And you could do a yearly one if you like by clicking in. I'm not going to do that. Or you could get 80 pictures for 18 cents. So $14.50 to get started. So these are all things available to you. Had nothing to do with Sable Sign that I was coming to teach. Right? But at least I've given you a little tidbit. I hope you've had fun. Most of you stayed. Nobody fell. Okay. Gracias. Thank you very much.
The one thing.